My question is, though, that you are doing something at a very low grassroots level, but you mentioned about the Paris Accord, which the major countries are pulling out. And even within Canada here, you have the Prime Minister, Mark Carney, has sort of not putting any emphasis on the, on the climate change issue anymore. And then in Ontario, you have Premier Ford, some of the things that were implemented maybe 10 years ago that people was very serious about getting rid of plastics and paper bags, and they are bringing it back right now. Ford has brought back the paper bag into the liquor stores. So you guys are, I mean, you are doing something at the grassroots level here to address the climate change, but you are going against some very, very stiff currents that you're fighting against. So I want to know if you see any way of addressing this issue, because it's like, you know, it's like a mouse going against an elephant.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I think the right person to answer this will be Honorable Hassan, because he comes from that environment.
Well, thank you. I think we've seen the leadership of Ford. He has failed our province, you know, and he flip-flops, he does this, he does that. And definitely the answer to this is more members of the community or every citizen getting involved and demanding change. I think that's the only way. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, we'll take the last question.
All right. Thank you very much. My question goes to the CEO for APA for Ghana. Okay. When will Ghana implement the ban on plastics, the use of plastics? And on a lighter note, which is also a serious one too, the organizers, when are we also going to stop using plastic bottles? The organizers, Kwame, question to you. When are we going to stop using plastic bottles for water? We need to walk the talk.
All right, thank you very much. So, Professor Kuti, I don't know if you heard a question.
So Ghana is learning from other, especially African countries, like Rwanda, like Kenya, and how they went about the ban. In fact, Ghana has tried it before, in the past, banning single-use plastics, but it failed because there was little stakeholder engagement, and so we got a pushback from the public. What we are doing now is to define which type of plastic we want to ban. We can't do away completely with plastics. It's not possible. It's not going to be possible because there are a lot of products that are made of plastics. So what we are working on is the single-use plastics, especially the PET, the polythene bags and all those ones, the single-use plastics. Even that one, there are still some types that we don't want to ban. So we are working on it as we speak to making sure that we do it right this time and achieve the desired results. So we are doing community engagement with various stakeholders. The producers themselves, we are meeting with them. Recycling companies, we are meeting with them. The shops, the supermarkets, the users in general. We have done some education also on TV and in the media, social media as well, in different types of media. So we are working towards it. I just can't say the exact date to say it's a ban, but then we're doing it gradually. Thankfully, we have the support of the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. On the World Environment Day, he announced it, especially the stylophones that we use. Apart from its environmental issues, it has serious health implications as well. So we are working around all of that. And as I said earlier on, we need to also provide the enabling environment. In this case, we need to provide alternatives to, if you say don't use it, what is it that the person should use? Without that, they will still go back to the usual thing. In Ghana and like most African countries, we have high humidity. So every time you are on the street, you will feel thirsty and you want to drink water. The easiest is to reach out for the bottle on the streets as they sell, any vendor to buy from. Otherwise, it's the sachet one that's equally disturb a lot, I mean, in terms of waste that you get to buy. So to go on that large scale of banning the sachets and the bottle, for example, then you need to provide alternative water on the street as well. That's already huge investment there, which is also an opportunity for investors to come on board. We are also talking and discussing with a few people who may be interested in setting up water ATMs or something on the streets in Ghana, starting with the major cities. So we plan to start with the former areas, university campuses, banks, and all those former areas to provide drinking water, and then we slowly get into the markets and on the street and all of that. Hopefully, we'll get there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, you have a question? Okay, I'll give you the question.
Good evening, everyone. My question is more or less from an import-export perspective. I realize that a lot of the drinks also coming into Ghana are coming from other countries. And with respect to some of the juice and water, the countries that are sending the drinks, the plastic bottles, how is Ghana addressing that to make sure that the bottles that are coming in are not toxic, and that there is a fine or some other alternative ways that they can bring their products into the country? Because generally, some of those countries are usually sending the low-grade plastics that are more likely to cause health issues. So how is that being addressed in Ghana politically, socially, and from a health perspective?
Very good question. Can I show you that? Okay, I'm sure that question was directed to Professor Kluchi, but just hold on 1 second. Go ahead with your question, and we'll combine the two as our wrap-up question. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Give me time to land with this question, and I would like Nana to answer this question. I was born when a chief in Ghana named Bonnie of Osu mobilized the entire country to boycott British goods. I also read in history that the British wanted part of Ashanti land, and Yasentua stood up and fought with them. And she was deported to Soche, I believe. Yeah. Now, I know how much chieftaincy has been in Ghana because we believe that they are the custodians of the land. Their role as chiefs is to protect the forest, the land, and the rivers. Now, we have experience of the British trying to bring the chieftaincy in Ghana into the political realm, and that failed. What has happened to chiefs in Ghana today? That they are not able to protect the land that have been given to them to protect as custodians. So if the chief have failed, we the people, where do we go? Because politics is not the way we protect the land. Chieftaincy is how we protect the land. What are the chiefs doing, and what do they have in place for the protection of our water, our forest, and everything else? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Kwame, you can take the microphone to Professor Kluchi, and I'll give this one to Nana.
Okay, thanks so much for this question. Yes, I was itching to come in even earlier when Mr. Joseph Amankra was talking about how, the strengths of the indigenous people in saying no or yes to, corporatization. I know it may be different from other places, but in Ghana, fortunately, even during at the height of colonial power and governance, we had people, as he's saying, we had powerful chiefs who came together. We were fortunate to have one famous lawyer who happened to be the first lawyer, qualified lawyer in Ghana, called John Mensah Saba. He organized the chiefs, and then they formed an organization called Aborigines Rights Protection Society. They fought and actually even defeated the British colonial administration in Britain courts. And it was declared that Ghana's lands are not available. They are not ownerless lands for the British to take over, as they took over in some other countries. Yes, and this authority has stood up till today. It has found presence in the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, and even in our Land Act, Act 1036, backed by, other cases, or Hemin and NJ and co. So yes, I can say that unlike other places, Ghana, if the chiefs were to say they will not allow some of these things, degradation and abuse, to happen on their lands, they have the authority, because the lands are vested in the stools, either in family stools or chieftaincy stools. So before they even come, they even go and say there is gold somewhere and they want to go and prospect. They will definitely have to see the landowner. Nobody can come to my land and start prospecting without my permission. And it's like that throughout the country, because the government doesn't own the land, except a few that the government has acquired from the stools themselves. So in Ghana, it is different. But the challenge we have is that, because of money, you understand, these people come with lots of money that these, chiefs you are mentioning, some of them can only dream of. So when they see such amount of money and overnight wealth like that, then they become attracted. They look the other way, and this, abuse and distraction goes on. So sadly, this is the situation that we face. It is part of the vision of EELL to get these same chiefs, encouraged to be at the forefront of the struggle against this, environmental degradation. And this is what we are fighting towards. And I hope as we progress, we will find more traction from the government and, people like our EPA CEO, who is a believer in indigenous knowledge and approach to the fight against environmental degradation, that will make progress to a point where chiefs will not even be encouraged to get into that at all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And let's hear the last word from Professor Kluche.
Thank you very much. So Ghana has the National Plastics Management Policy, which guides us in the management of plastics and plastic waste. So in terms of importation, we have controls at the port already from customs. But then, since I assumed office, I realized that our presence at the port of entries into the country was low. In fact, we didn't have offices at the port of entry. So we have established offices at the port of entry. So the main port of entry, the borders of Ghana, we have now established offices there so we can have control over what comes in and what is of compliance to us, and what we allow and what we don't allow. Until then, even with the Ghana Customs, which they have the list of things we allow, the goods we allow and those we don't allow, we feel that our presence will help with this work better than what we have initially relegated to customs to do on our behalf. So we have set up offices, and it's helping us. So where we reject materials, it goes back to where it came from. And we have the power to do that as well. So we try to do these checks, but I mean, we all understand that sometimes we get smuggles through the country. We have seen or seized a whole truck, a tank of cyanide. This is a chemical we don't allow its individual use. It's only the large-scale mining company that use them. So we track them from the ports through. So before we set up offices, we got these trucks moving from Burkina Faso through the northern part to inland to the country. And so these are some of the ways people use to smuggle goods that we don't allow in the system. But as we have set up offices in these port of entries, it has gone down tremendously. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, so at this point, I want all of us to give a round of applause to ourselves. We've done wonderful. We work within the time. We're starting at 4:50 and end at 8 p.m. And I just look at the clock, and it's 7:58. So we are 2 minutes shy to our end time, and I think